Alright everybody, welcome back to the You Like That podcast. You are joined with me. My name is Adam, one half of the You Like That podcast.
My name's Jack. I am the other half of the You Like That podcast.
That is right. And we are back again for another week of no good movies back out at the cinemas. We have run dry.
If you like podcasts where they really have to think on their feet every single week because there's a massive pandemic during their movie podcast first year,
Yep.
hit the like button, subscribe.
We're trying our fucking best.
We're still putting shit out.
I know.
That's more than can be said for some
Look,
podcasts.
honestly, it's
we're not here to talk shit on other podcasts, but we have put something out nearly every week. Sometimes two things every week.
Sometimes.
So
more often than not.
I would highly recommend subscribing. If you're on Spotify, follow us and put a screenie up on your Instagram.
Yeah, get your screenies
We'll
going.
share it. We'll make you famous.
Yeah.
Probably.
We'll try our best.
That's not guaranteed.
Yeah. So before we jump into what we're doing today, some quick news that has come out this week.
You know what? Before you do this week's news,
Okay, yeah.
last week we were like, cancel the news segment. There's no news. There's never going to be any news again.
Yep.
We said that on the week where Batman literally got coronavirus.
Yep.
And The Rock also literally got coronavirus. And we were like, no, there's no news.
Yeah, there's nothing going on. Yeah, Batman shut down production for 2 weeks because...
So if you are new to this podcast, very famously, we don't look anything up ever because who fucking cares? It's funnier this way.
I know. It shows how good we think on our feet.
And, the Batman got halted again because its main star, our dear Lord, Robert Pattinson, literally has...
Yep. Had to make everyone quarantine. So that happened.
That'll be fine. Rich people are fine.
Exactly
they're
right.
immune from it. Tom Hanks came back to Australia where he got coronavirus. He's like, I gotta finish the movie.
Fuck, bro. Tom Hanks was nearly patient zero.
So brave. He was very early. Him and Idris Elba.
He was one of the first
early,
ones, and we're just like, what? Tom Hanks has coronavirus?
Yeah,
That's a thing?
And it was before we knew, the scale of it, how survivable it actually is. So everyone heard that, and I remember Twitter lit up. Everyone was like, oh my god, he's going to die.
Tom Hanks. He's gone.
This is the worst day in history. He's already back in Australia
he's
filming
good.
again.
He needs to film this movie.
Rich people will be fine.
Yeah. But some more news now that is recent. Just
more current news.
Some more current news. We're talking delays again.
No.
Have you seen any of the delays?
I haven't actually.
All right. So our recent delays have come courtesy of Wonder Woman, 1984.
Oh yeah, Christmas Day for Wonder Woman.
It's now been postponed to Christmas Day. It's supposed to come out in a couple of weeks.
That is not happening.
It's not going to come out on Christmas Day. No fucking chance. No. And what was the other one that I saw? Hold on, we've got the screenies here.
Hopefully not Bond again.
No, not Bond again. Candyman.
Oh yeah.
TBA 2021.
Did that ever have a release date?
Yeah, October 16 was its release. So again, just about a month, we're going to get more new movies. And now this one is now TBA 2021.
That means, I hope there's a vaccine in January so we can release it in summer.
Fucking pretty
in
much.
July next year.
Yeah.
American summer.
So, as we spoke of DC Fandom the other week and, getting all these new trailers, things are getting released. They just turned around and went, nah. It's just not ready.
Nah. And none of these can go to streaming because streaming...
There's too big of a budget,
it's proven that streaming does alright numbers and it is fine for some things.
Yep.
But you cannot put
it's not going to thrive.
You cannot put a Wonder Woman on streaming.
No.
Just especially with DC, they've dumped everything to HBO. Remember they had DC streaming for 4 weeks?
Yeah, we didn't.
Nobody wanted it. Australia didn't even get it. They were like, fuck this. So now it's on HBO in America. It's folded into Foxtel in Australia. Nobody wants Foxtel in Australia. Nobody wants to support that family. No. So it can't go to streaming. No, we'll see.
So we just have to wait for Christmas Day, when I guess poor cinema people are going to have to fucking work, so we can see Wonder Woman.
Think about those penalty rates, though. I'm going to apply.
Be an alright time.
Wouldn't be bad.
It might make this podcast easier. We don't have to pay to see these shitty movies that we watch. But yeah, that's about all the news in regards to delays.
Unless there's some other major news we just didn't look at.
More than likely, after we finish recording this, it's probably going to be fucking something else.
Whatever.
So yeah, there's not much else coming out, so we're thinking on our feet. So this week I brought about the idea of revisiting an older horror movie, courtesy of one James Wan and our boy, Shots Ready, Leigh Whannell. We're doing Insidious, the first entry into the franchise of the Leigh Whannell written, James Wan directed movie from 2011. Because fucking why not? You haven't seen them before.
This came out in 2011?
This came out in 2011. This was an old movie.
It feels like a 2007 banger.
Yeah.
It feels older than it is.
It's definitely in there because this came about as James Wan, after doing Saw, wanted to go out and show that he wasn't just this weird gore-driven guy who just makes these weird horror movies that, you know, a lot of people didn't want to work with him after it because of the state of those movies, and they were like, it's just fucking weird horror torture porn. So he
and you get signed up to fucking 9 movies.
Yeah.
2 of which are good.
Yeah.
Possibly 3.
So this was his sort of going into it, hey, I don't just do gore, I can make other things. So it's a younger one, and it is a good step into what I say is a good franchise. It has been a profitable franchise.
The last one only came out last year, didn't it?
Yeah,
this year?
2 years ago. About 2 years ago.
Yeah. And that is definitively the last one?
Right now, that is definitively the last one. Unless, you know how Hollywood are, they might just bust out another one.
Did he do a Saw and fuck off after the first one? Or did he stay on for all 4?
James did... he directed the first, and then I think he fucked off after the first Saw, but had a hand in writing the script with Leigh. But they got other directors for the second and third. So, quick rundown of the movie. Directed James Wan, written by Leigh Whannell. This had a budget of $1.5 million. As most of these small movies are that involve our boys. But it returned $99.5 million in the box.
Big hit.
Which is it.
I remember it at the time. It was a big hit.
Yeah, it hit really well. And I remember seeing it courtesy of a friend at school that said, I've got this horror movie on a nice white burnt disc. And I looked at it and I went, oh yeah? Never heard of it before because I never watched trailers back then for fucking pretty much anything. Turn it on and I was like, holy fuck. Scared me.
Bring back the Velcro CD case of burnt DVDs you're not supposed to have. God,
and just handing them out at school.
I saw so many of the movies I like that way.
Oh yeah. It was either that
your mate's dodgy dad would just have them lying around the house.
Always. A massive binder, and he'll never tell you where he got them from either.
Oh god, no.
Just always he's got like a cousin or something. It's always a cousin. And it's a dodgy cousin. And it was either that or your friends would come into school with a USB stick of downloaded movies when torrenting was massive.
Yeah.
When it first peaked. Rotten Tomato score of 66%. It's not uncommon for a horror movie to have a score like that. If anything, that's one of the better scores you can have. It feels
high, yeah.
For something like this.
Especially when you see the trajectory of the Saw movies, as we went through in our Saw episodes.
Yep.
Episodes. We did 2 of those. So much content for you if you subscribe.
Exactly right. It's free. Starring decent cast, smaller cast. So we had
very good
Patrick
cast.
Wilson playing Josh Lambert, who we know from the Conjuring series as Mr. Ed Warren. You have Rose Byrne, a lovely Australian woman from Bad Neighbours, Get Him to the Greek, playing Renee Lambert. Then you have Lynn Shay, the older woman who seems to be in every low budget horror movie there was to exist.
She must have a ball doing them because she shows up in all of them.
Yeah. A lot of the time it was just like extras, but she had a decent run in the Critters movies, 1 and 2, and then just featured in a whole bunch of other random movies here and there. Leigh Whannell actually does act in this movie as well.
Alongside Angus Sampson, who is one of the funniest looking people on earth.
He really is.
He doesn't have to try at all to be funny. He just is. And it's not like, I'm saying he's ugly or anything. He just looks funny. He's like 7 feet tall and he does the really good resting mouth open, like mouth breather.
And the voices he always puts on are really good as well.
He's so fucking funny as a human being. He's a treat.
So Angus Sampson and Leigh Whannell both play Lynn Shay's characters. At least they're like horror spiritual group.
They're the characters from Poltergeist.
Basically,
this movie is Poltergeist.
Basically, yes.
It's a very light Poltergeist remake.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit more tweaks here and there, but it's mostly
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
It's also very, very similar to The Conjuring. I don't know why James Wan made 2 of the same movie.
Yeah, I feel like
both franchises extremely successful, so maybe that's why he did both.
Yeah, very weird. So let's just jump in and say, how did you find the movie?
I fucking hated every second of this movie.
But
this is one of the shittest movies I've ever
Alright, explain.
I just hated it. How can a 100-minute movie feel like it went for 5 business days? It's so slow and long and cliched, and I know it was early on in the haunted house, Blumhouse model, but Jesus Christ, like, it's so much of it is just so tired. Like, the couple, like, you know, life's pretty hectic and stressful, but they love each other. Spooky noise, nothing. Spooky noise, nothing. Spooky noise, maybe something.
We're getting
spooky
there.
noise, annoying fuck off kid who does something, falls over, and then just the haunted house. It's almost like you're unrolling a tired old dusty rug. You're like, all right, let's just do this. And it all falls out and then like onto the carpet. And you're like, all right, just point a camera at it, and all the tropes are there. And you just point it, and then we'll get to it. We'll get to it as we explore.
Okay.
But the worst part, when spoiler alert for this 9-year-old movie.
Yep.
When old mate goes into the other realm.
The further.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That scene went for so long and nothing happened, and it wasn't scary, it wasn't funny, it wasn't funny bad. It was just like, oh, they're taking this very seriously.
Yeah.
As he's walking through his house and it's all quiet and there's like 50s ghosts not reacting to him, but there's the spooky red-faced man. And I was just like, oh god. And then when the demons started chasing him and stuff, I was just like, I hate this. I absolutely hate this. I've seen it so many fucking times. Had I have seen it in 2011, I probably would have liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Cast is good. James Wan discovered he can move a camera around, and I like The Conjuring for a lot of that as well. He discovers like you can like pan down but like spin a camera around and then edit it in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff like that. But god, I hate this movie so much.
So that's how I expected this sort of to go, is either being written by Leigh, I'm just like, either there's going to be one thing, he's either going to give Leigh a bit of praise because he wrote it, or he's just going to absolutely fucking hate it, and it's going to be that rare thing where he just goes, I love you, Leigh, but...
When their characters come in, and I was just like, it's in my notes. I'll post my notes because you'll see my descent into madness. I was just like, oh my god, it's Poltergeist. And they come in with all the equipment, and I'm just like, oh my god, they're setting up in the house. It's Poltergeist. Like, Poltergeist is a very, very good movie, and it's already been done. It's already tried to be done again, and it was terrible. So So
basically, it's just too much of a repetitive cliche. Horror type.
There is nothing new in this movie.
Yeah, no, I definitely can agree with that. The only thing they tried to do new was going into this further sort of realm, and transcending into a astral projection, as they call it, into this different realm of sorts where there are ghosts and ghouls hiding about, waiting to take your body.
Souls chilling out, getting lost. When he goes, I don't know if it was intentionally funny or not, but he's in the astral realm. This is like 8 minutes into the scene because the scene goes for 5 business days. And he's walking through there, and he's looking at all these ghosts, and there's ghouls and stuff everywhere. And then there's a lady in the corner crying, and he walks up and he goes, "I'm looking for my son. Have you seen him?" And
that is pretty fucking.
I had to pause because it tickled me just in such a way. I was just like, it's like getting lost in hell and pulling over, winding your window down and going, "Hey mate, do you know where fucking Elm Street is? I don't know where I'm going." Like.
I have an appointment with Freddy Krueger. Do you know him?
As if this crying ghoul would be like, oh, you know what, mate? Like, this is your house, so you know your way around. He's probably in his fucking bedroom because it's his house. It's your house. You know where he is. Just walk into that room. And then goes back to crying. Like,
yeah.
Is the ghost the curse of La Llorona? Is that the old lady?
I'd say it's not.
It's just a ghost in a wedding dress.
It's just a demon that haunted Josh as a small child, and scary old women in bridal dresses is pretty fucking scary to most people, especially with the fucking hairdo that she had that took up half the fucking screen.
It's the 50s.
It's the 50s. So
they did that.
I think with that ghost is probably one of the most misleading things about the movie, though, because a lot of the promotional marketing was with her as
And it's the first shot of the movie as well.
Exactly right. The first shot is a fucking dead-ass scary scene of her in the corner in the dark.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of that through the trailer, through the marketing material in the posters that they released.
Yeah.
When in retrospect, the red-faced demon is more or less the main...
He's the villain, yeah.
He's the main draw of this.
He's the Darth Maul.
Elise comes in and says he's the most powerful out of them all. He's got basically first dibs at this body because he's a fucking cunt. But no, everyone
exactly
else...
what they say in the movie.
Basically, that's what they say in it. But yeah, basically just... It's Darth Maul's cousin. That was one of the big memes that came about when this movie came out, was just like, why is Darth Maul in this and he's got a weird bowl cut?
And that jump scare would have got me if I hadn't seen it a million times, but they're all talking about him in the room and then he's there for that one shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not particularly scary. It's one of those movies where you're always looking in the background. This is like James Wan would probably play stuff there, but he just doesn't. There's nothing really in the shadows, or if there is, they make it quite obvious.
Yeah,
with a musical
there is going to be something there. Yeah. But yeah, I think the thing that they tried the most to make scary about this was the score of the movie. So the big thing with this is they really fucking tap into the let's play 1,000 violins at the same time on the highest possible note and blast it through the fucking speakers.
Super staccato, like they're fucking stabbing the strings.
As it is, like the intro of the movie, it's all black. You see the old lady in that, and then it cuts to Insidious as the logo, and it flashes instantly, and then the violins just go bang, and that's you jumps.
Yeah, for a title card.
That was fucking loud and unnecessary, and it was just more of an inconvenience than anything.
Yeah.
But that's just something that's sort of sprinkled out through the rest of the movie to try and, I guess, bring about a foreboding sense of fear, and that something is going to happen. When I guess it does just lack that.
Yeah,
you can't really count the jump scares on one hand. Basically, there's not enough of them.
No, but you do know they're coming. When he's walking around with the color changer, you're just well, this is the first Saw movie when he's got the flash. Yeah. That's going to be a jump scare, but it still gets you. Because
it's very much there because, as it is, you don't know at what point it's going to
But then there's
click
some
and they're
that's
going to
just
be
two women and they just smile and it's just okay.
Yeah, you just saw the Shining girls just grown up.
Yeah.
You're just oh, fuck.
Great.
Chuck them in here, sure, why not?
There's the ghost that's the Undertaker. When she's first getting haunted, when he's on the way, she kicks him out. And then it's that guy, the big goth-looking guy. I was just that's the fucking Undertaker. And then he comes back later and he's fighting her. And he's actually slamming her against the wall and stuff. I'm just that's the fucking Undertaker.
Yeah, we're 2 minutes away from a Tombstone pile driver in a fucking horror movie.
Just waiting for the cage to come in.
It would have added to this movie a lot.
Going back to James Wan doing cool, interesting stuff, there's that really, really great stunt where the kid finally stands up and he slams down on the table.
That was a really fucking cool scene.
Everyone gets ripped. And that's obviously practical, and that looks fucking incredible.
That was really
That's
good.
a great shot.
That is something you can take away from that and be
100%.
Bang.
And they're already playing with the lights and stuff, so it's not pitch black and you can't see it. Yeah. They're actually flashlights and it's really...
There are sprinkles of good things in this movie.
Yeah, 100%.
As it is with horror movies, it comes down to your plot devices, where this movie is supposed to be going, and does it get there in the end? It gets to an ending point, but you can almost, deduce the last 25 minutes of the movie and then just get the ending and be well, that ending sort of just could have been how it was.
If you've seen any movie, if the son is the one who's possessed, in this movie he's not possessed, he's lost.
Yeah.
But you can boil it down to comparing it to a possession movie. As soon as you see that it's the boy and the dad's I don't believe this. Ghosts aren't real. Yeah. You're well, the dad was haunted when he was a kid and he's the vessel. He's the key. It'll be the dad, he's the link somehow.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah,
the dad's the link in the movie.
And that becomes apparent by the end of the movie. So
and they set that up very early because they're looking through the photo album in the beginning. And
his mum comes around and says,
and you find out later it's because he's scared of cameras because there's ghosts in the photos.
Which is the old lady ghost, which is one that's been haunted.
The first Polaroid is really, really scary because it actually looks kind of fucked up. And then as they're flicking through the Polaroid, it's clearly just a stunt woman in a wedding dress in the background. I was just that was nearly actually scary.
Yeah.
I
I
fucking hate this movie.
Yeah, I do like this movie, and I don't know if it's because I like the rest of the franchise. Like, for me, this isn't my favourite one in the franchise.
Which is odd for a horror franchise.
Exactly right. I feel like they...
Oh, not really.
Because Leigh wrote all of them. There's 4 in the franchise. He wrote all of them. He directed the 3rd. James did the 1st, and I think the 2nd. And then they just had another guy do the 4th one. So, James's 1st and 2nd, obviously the 2nd one is a sequel, and then the 3rd and 4th are prequels. So they're all set before these events. But they all link up the end. Sort of Conjuring style.
The Annabelle method.
Yeah, exactly right. But I really like the way they do it in those. Because it's all based on Elise, Specs, and Tucker. So you still get Leigh acting throughout all of them. You still get Angus Sampson acting through all of them. And it's sort of their growth into becoming as good as they are. And then leading up to where we are in the first one. So I think I like the way it worked better in the future for the franchise, opposed to the entry points, where it just sort of like, it got me into it and being like, oh yeah, that was an okay movie. I didn't mind it. It's not one of the worst horror movies I've seen.
It's a good date movie. It's a very good date movie.
Yeah, and especially the second one. The second one is a decent date movie too. But then 3rd and 4th, which me and Brooke did see in the cinemas together, and they were proper scary movies to see in the cinemas. They actually had jump scares. They were a lot more, which is why I want to expand on this and have you watch the rest of them.
Yeah.
To do a future.
Well, I like the idea of it's more about the ghost hunters rather than the tropey American family.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the house that's haunted, it's the family. I don't like any of that. But if it's about the ghost hunters, I'll probably check them out.
Yeah.
Probably.
You just got to get through the second one, because that's the actual sequel to this one, and going off the ending of the first one, it's, trying to get this demon out of Josh in the end of this second one, and there's another fucking...
Did they come back, Rose Byrne and Patrick Wilson?
Yes. Yes, they do. They do all come back.
Very strange.
To do the second one, and then
Go on.
That one ends as it is, and then the 3rd and 4th go
back to the
back in time. And,
right.
But I rate them so much higher, and critically and in the box office wise, they flew even higher. Like I think the second one's the highest rating one. It raked in about 190 million or something.
Jesus.
From still, I think, about a 3 or 4 mil budget. So it got notoriety. That's the weird thing, is this movie is different for a lot of people like yourself who fucking hated this. Me, I liked it for what it was, but just because I've seen the rest of the franchise and I liked where it led me to.
Yeah.
But
timing and reference points are a big part of why I don't like this movie. I'm seeing this in 2020 when I've been on Netflix for 6 years. I've seen every fucking terrible straight to Netflix movie, which is obviously ripping off these kinds of movies because it was so long ago. So you have to understand, I'm coming from here. This movie was here when it was still... They could get away with shit like that.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're just like I've seen Hereditary. I've seen It Follows. You've
seen so much new shit that really adds a new aspect to horror and the plots that they partake in. Yeah. And for this, it is just that older school style type of just trying to get people scared through a house.
She's like, we have to move. We have to get out of this house.
Yeah.
Every other horror movie ever, they'd be like, no, we put all our money in this. But this one, they're just like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
We'll go to another house.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's a fucking good husband. He's just a high school teacher.
Yeah, I know.
Doing alright for himself. That first house is big, dude.
Yeah, and he's happy to move, even considering he's just like, I don't really believe anything that's happening right now. I think you're just crazy. But sure, we'll fucking move.
Great husband.
You want that as a husband.
What a great support unit.
Yeah, he just wants to, not believe in any of it until the last minute where he's possessing fuck himself.
Yeah. And when he's staying late at the school, I was like, oh, there's going to be this weird, he's cheating or something to deal with it. But then, just very honestly, he's just like, I don't really know how to deal with it, so I'm just staying at work.
Yeah.
Just, essentially avoiding it.
It's not a bad idea.
Fucking yeah.
You knew some bad juju was happening in the house.
My house didn't feel right. I'd just be like, alright, go and find something else to do.
Yeah, but
hope this blows over.
Maybe if I just come back here and sleep and...
that could be one of the prequels. It's just him leaving and driving to and from work, just going, I shouldn't go back.
Yeah. What's
last night, I didn't get a lot of sleep as the kid was fucking screaming.
Yeah, maybe I'll go bowling.
Gosh, she'll be really angry at me if I don't go home though.
Yeah. And is that worse than Angry Demons?
Yeah, I better
go the Angry
home.
Wife.
Yeah, I'll go home. And then he started driving home all ashen and was like, I'll go home.
Fuck fucking, I'm gonna go home and deal with this screaming bitch. Fucking sees ghosts
like,
and
I do love her, obviously, because I'm literally moving house for her again.
Fucking kid's been in a coma for 6 months, but fuck.
Yeah, moving house with a kid in a coma with a big hospital bed, that must have been a nightmare.
Yeah. And touching on that of the whole moving thing, and now that the kid's in the coma, one of the things that drags away from this, and you sort of look at it and go, that sounds like a bit of a fuck up, or the parents are just flat out dumb. So he's in his bed and that, and he's just knocked the fuck out. He's in this coma that they don't know what it is, and he's just fucking in the other realm. But his drawings that are on the wall, he has multiple drawings that are not of that of a normal kid.
Yeah, well, I assumed he was like sleepwalking or whatever doing that, and the parents just didn't realise he was up and about. I just figured.
But then they moved with those same drawings.
So they brought them with him.
So they took them down. They would have looked at him and been like, oh, that's nice. Put that down and then moved to the next place and put them up and they're like, ah.
Maybe that's one of the deleted scenes. It's taking them down. It's like, man, Dalton.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up.
Because you have some...
We don't have to worry about this when
you have like some normal drawings like their family and like fucking, you know, dogs and shit, and then you just see like... One of them is just flat out a black shade with the red-faced demon sitting in the front of it.
Yeah.
One is a flat red door. And then one's like...
I'll fly away because I'm dead as shit or something.
Yeah, last night I watched myself sleep and all this shit, and you're just like... Are they not looking at us going like... He's gone from drawing us as a happy family to this weird demon thing, and we're just okay with this? We're just not noticing it because we just want to be ignorant.
It's like when your kid's wet in the bed when he's still like 11. You're like, it's childhood anxiety, whatever. He draws weird shit.
Yeah, he's being artistic.
He'll probably be sad if we don't put him up in the new house for some reason.
I know he's not going to. I know he's not awake.
I also didn't like at the beginning, like, they had to rush through. Well, very obviously more doctors would do more tests and stuff. Because the doctor's just like, fuck, man, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I've never seen this, bro. He's just like asleep. He's fine.
Yeah. Then he just gets a page. He's like, oh, I got to go do something else, so I'll be back later. And they're like, what?
There's a scene before, like, he gets the page, he's with the other doctor, and he's like, okay, in 5 minutes you have to page me. I don't know what to tell this family.
Yeah.
I need to get out, so you're just going to page me and pretend there's an emergency.
Yeah. And get me the fuck out of there because, Jesus, I don't know. There's only so far you can go with going, yeah, he's just asleep for a long time.
And the parents, like, they're just like, alright. Will there be more tests? How long? Oh, no. Cut to 3 months later.
Yeah.
And that bit was a bit like, oh, we got to get to the possession. Like,
yeah.
I know it's not possession. I'm going to keep saying possession.
I know,
but it feels like a possession.
Because it really seems like it should be in this movie, is that this thing should be straight up about possession.
Especially when he gets up later in the seance bit, when he's up and about. I'm just like, is he possessed or is this demon like also in the room? Which is,
see now that's the strange thing about it, is the whole thing is, Elise is coming and doing all these, you know, things saying, oh, you know, he's in the further, he's an empty vessel and these demons are trying to fight to take control of his body. So that scene comes about and Dalton wakes up and he's slamming the table and everyone's getting thrown around and that. And when they go back to the photo footage, they see that the demon, the red-faced demon, is controlling him doing it. Yeah. So you go, so did it possess him?
Or is it Weekend at Bernie's? Like he's going da-da-da-da with his forearms.
Yeah, he's just like, I can't get into it, but I can move it around.
I really like Lin Shaye's acting when she's looking up at the roof.
Yeah.
And like even her, like they put contacts in or something, and because her pupils are like completely black, and she's like freaking out, and then she turns the lights on, and her pupils go and go back to normal. Some really cool acting. That made me actually go, oh, that's pretty like tense.
And she's brilliant through the whole franchise because she's in all of them. Well, the second one not as much because she's dead, obviously. But 3 and 4, obviously, it's all about her basically. So she is absolutely brilliant, and for an older lady, she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I swear she's gorgeous. But yeah, so that's
the millstone.
Maybe even the G MILF. But
the MILF key, Insidious.
Shit. But yeah, so that's the one thing I didn't know if he was possessed at that point, because obviously he's being moved around in this.
Yeah.
And it makes it seem like either, like you said, it's Weekend at Bernie's and he's just moving him physically, or he's actually inside of him doing this, because I don't know, there's no real way to say how you're possessed if you're, you know, getting taken control of under possession, if it's actually all in you or if there is some sort of shadowy figure behind you that is controlling you.
Yeah.
It's not really sort of known how the possession sort of works.
Well, let's talk about the astral realm then, because why does he have a little study and the 1920s TikTok song is playing and he's like making tools and stuff?
So the big song for this movie is Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Which if you've been on TikTok once, you've heard it. Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, if you've been on TikTok, you know this song. But if you've been anywhere, you fucking know this song. And
if you played Bioshock, it's probably in that. It's very Bioshock.
Like, it's very strange. But yeah, so the astral realm is the big part of this movie in that Josh as a child could go to this realm. It's not the living nor the dead. It's just a realm where ghosts walk around and...
Just going to hang out.
Just chill out until someone goes, my body's free if you want to possess it. And they go, ooh. Come and take a bit of that.
And they get him one and it's just like... He just like washes cars and he's like, ah, fuck, I wanted like a rich, cool guy.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, fucking kidding? What the fuck are you gonna kid
in the astral realm, they're just like watching the Dick Van Dyke show and just eating boxed meals and stuff. It's just like, what? Why are you doing this? What?
It's another thing as well. It's like, so it's basically like the Upside Down away from Stranger Things, where it's exactly where you are, but it's just green and foggy.
Yeah.
And some parts have different aspects to it, like the red-faced demon's little hangout area.
So weird. It's such a strange choice.
And for some reason, this house is holding, 4 to 5 different ghosts. And this must have been a fucked up house.
Yeah. It's like the previous tenants.
Or the whole thing is, do they just walk through their further realm and just hang out at houses, being like, yeah, some shit will go down here. This will be sick.
This house looks haunted, so I'm gonna chill here.
Yeah.
Really add to the ambiance. But then they come into real life as well. Remember at the end? She's like, oh no.
We're good.
Yeah, I must have zoned out. Because, like, Josh has to get back to his body.
Yeah.
Because everyone in the real world is, like, in danger from the ghost, which they can now see. Is that actual happening?
No, because it was more of like a...
Or is that just a visual for the...
It was like cutting back and forth between the real world and the further.
Okay, right.
So it was like the ghosts and that were going in the further, but it was like sort of chopping up as in like, he's got to get back when they're all coming to it. And
so they were going to jump into Josh's body?
Yeah. So because he was so far away from his body, which which doesn't also make sense because obviously Dalton's been in a coma for 3 fucking months. Yet he hasn't been possessed yet, but Josh has gone for 10 minutes to rescue his son, and they're all automatically like, oh, we're going to take him now.
Yeah, he's like a strong school teacher with a hot wife. Dalton's some little fucking idiot kid who draws weird pictures.
Yeah. So that was another thing that sort of just didn't do it for him, was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that bit, I must have like blanked or something, because I saw them all in the real world, and I was like, oh, fuck, did I miss, like, they fucked up or something, and like...
Yeah. But it also
ghost real, but no.
I mean, it's also a very long scene as well, so
it's so slow. It's so weird.
That scene is very fucking slow, and it doesn't build anything until he goes to rescue Dalton, and then you just have that encounter with the red-faced demon again.
And the song is creepy, but it plays for the entire scene. So you're just I'm just sick of it. Like when you do see the red-faced man's study workshop, whatever. And it's still playing, you're just like, oh, alright, I guess he was just playing it too loud.
And he's literally just sitting there sharpening his fucking claws. And he's on
what's he doing?
He's on a fucking whetstone grinder, sharpening his claws for whatever fucking reason. He doesn't seem to be using them.
Oh, maybe it was for someone else. Maybe he got a job order. Faxed through to him.
It might have been maybe fashioning a new set for Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, maybe.
Could have been.
Maybe.
We'll never know.
God, I hope not. So you shouldn't remake that again.
Yeah, nah. We don't need that. Not while Robert England's still alive.
Yeah. The red-faced man looks good. I like him as a demon.
Yeah, he is sick. He is very sick as a demon. It's I mean, obviously someone was a Star Wars fan. It's very apparent. Yeah. Because the red, the black mixed through, they just said, let's just
looks a lot like Darth Maul.
Let's just give him a bowl cut and hoofs for legs and an actual pointed tail.
Yeah.
As you would if you drew a cartoon devil or something.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He like runs on the walls and stuff, and he's all fast and screaming. I didn't like that.
That part I didn't like. That's when you saw.
It was like all slow and lumbering and like scary.
Yeah, but like there's not too much else through this movie where there's like massive ghost people interaction.
No, it's not that kind of thing.
It's a lot of like put in the background. and they just sort of look at him and go, oh! And then they're gone.
Yeah.
And the only other one is the Gothic Undertaker, fighting Josh in the further, or attacking Renee in that one little scene for 2 minutes when they're doing the fucking ritual thing or whatever. Yeah. Otherwise, there's no massive hauntings in that you would have in like The Conjuring and that, where it's really like at the people that they're trying to scare or fucking possess, whatever you want to call it. There's not much of that.
No.
The biggest threat is just the red-faced demon wanting to take over Dalton.
Pretty much, yeah.
For whatever reason.
Not waking up.
Yeah.
I guess he wouldn't die. He would come back to life, but he'd be like all fucked up. I guess that's how it works.
He'd just be like the fucking Omen child, I guess.
When Rose Byrne, in the scene where Josh originally denies Elise and the workers, he's like, no, they're not going to happen. And Rose Byrne's yelling at him.
Yeah.
She goes so Australian when she's like
she does
and yelling.
She really does.
And Lee's struggling with his accent as well.
Yeah.
I think Angus just like doesn't get enough lines for you to notice.
Yeah, exactly. But he can
very Australian.
He can just put on a deep enough voice where it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he goes, you can get
he's
away
like
with
the
it.
dopey.
Yeah. But I guess getting to the end of the film then, so the ending is obviously the sway, the twist ending that you'd sort of expect from a horror movie, I guess, in which Josh is now possessed by the old bridesmaid and kills Elise.
Doesn't make a lot of sense either because we see Josh get back to his body.
Yes.
Well, we see enough of it to assume.
Yeah.
I guess the wedding dress lady's just really fast.
Yeah, she outran all of them because they were doing the slow, the cliche.
It's probably the latest thing. And because she's so tall, she just walks through the crowd. She's like, what the fuck are these people? Like,
yeah.
We're nearly there. Just go.
It's right there. Just jump. He's not. Okay, I'm going for it.
Do you guys actually want to go back to the real world? And they're like, it's, the economy, don't really... Kind of like it here.
Kind of like the TV meals and,
the days are the same, but I don't have to go to work.
Thing.
Then the red-faced man is up in his office going, I have to work? What the fuck?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Jobs. I'm getting a job.
Making orders. You know how many times I've listened to this song? How this vinyl isn't fucking outplayed, I don't fucking know. But it's the only one I've got.
Can someone possess a fucking iPod so I can have a playlist? Come on.
There's some fucking speakers in this shit.
So the wedding lady is now Josh. Which is weird because she's been supposedly haunting him his whole life.
Yeah.
Why did she wait till now?
I don't know. It's obviously his mum didn't want to scare him with the photos of her in the photo, so I guess he just sort of forgot.
Yeah, because they were like, I don't want to make you remember this again,
but now I'm going to make you remember as to why this is happening to your son. And it's sort of like, aha!
So what?
She's like, now it's my time to shine again.
So in the second one, does Dalton remember anything?
I don't rightly remember. Yeah, again, I haven't seen it in a while, and I did not recall any of it until I read the plot summary on online, and I was just like, fuck. I can't remember how this fucking movie goes. And it was sort of coming to me, and I was just like...
Maybe that's part of the astral realm. It wipes your memory.
Yeah, I don't think he has any recollection of what actually happened in it. Fuck, I don't know. But, yeah, so the...
Here only like that, we don't look anything up, and that's not going to change.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, so Elise just knows that he's the old lady because she can just see shit. She sort of looks at his hand and...
Rapid fire with the camera. Like,
and he's just like, what the fuck would you do that for? And then strangles her, kills her.
Yeah, the reaction was a bit much. Yeah. As actors, that must have been so awkward. Like, Patrick Wilson just like, oh, I have to choke this sweet old lady.
Yeah.
and he's like fucking going for it too.
Yeah. And
it must have been so awkward on set. Just like, ooh, sorry.
Yeah, and then you just end with Renee coming into the room to see that she's been strangled. She's now dead. And Josh is nowhere to be seen.
Just Saw level.
Picks up the camera and sees the old woman in the photo.
Which is really stupid. It looks so stupid. Yeah, the photo looks so dumb.
And then it ends with the 1,000 violins.
Very standard, very Saw level cliffhanger.
Yeah.
They must have gone
Still didn't mind it.
Yeah, they must have gone in with some franchise confidence.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the return sort of speaks for itself on it. I mean, you don't get...
And if the sequel ties in that well, you have to assume that was probably written as well.
Yeah.
Because Leigh's quite a prolific writer. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess as it is with horror movies, if you got a decent cast, you get somewhat of a decent reception, you can make that sequel work if you get the original cast back. Because obviously you get sequels for horror movies where they just don't bring anyone back from the first. Still call it a sequel.
The link is like, it would just be the astral realm.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't work.
Yeah. So they had some confidence with it going into it, and I think it paid off well in regards to the franchise as a whole. As I said, I prefer the end of the franchise with the third and fourth, especially with Leigh's directorial debut in the franchise, I guess.
Yeah.
Sort of stepping out from the script and going, I'll direct this one.
The whole time, have you seen the movie Sinister?
Yes.
Yeah. The whole time I was watching this, I was thinking of Sinister the whole time. I was like, these are very similar. Like, not in plot or anything, just like in the way they look, the way they're...
I think Sinister is scarier.
I like Sinister a lot more.
Sinister, yeah. But the second one
Sinister
sucks
is a bit stupider. It's a bit dumber.
It is more outlandish, I guess, in a way.
It's a main, like... And again, he looks like Kane.
I was going to say, yeah.
Bagul. His name's Bagul. It's just so fucking stupid.
And it's like, just call him Kane.
Like, the idea of the MacGuffin in a movie is just, like, a stupid thing. So you give it a stupid name. That movie, they literally give them MacGuffin Bagul. Yeah. I didn't know there was a sequel.
There is. Don't fucking watch it.
That must be terrible.
It is fucking terrible.
There's no way Ethan Hawke came back. No way. Vincent D'Onofrio. Vincent D'Onofrio's in that movie. He's Skyped in.
No, Ethan Hawke came back for him. I'm pretty sure he came back for it.
I have to search that out.
Yeah, no, I think he did.
But yeah, I was just like, the whole time I was just like, why is it? They're not that similar, but it is reminding. Maybe it was just like the same era, same sort of feel.
Yeah, well, the Sinister one was pretty close to one. I guess it was just it was another physical manifested demon that had a weird gothic look to it, and it was sort of like you could attach something to it. Yeah. And somewhat get excited for it.
Polaroids, other realms, ghost scanners, stuff like that, and it's just seen it so many times. Yeah,
like I mean, this is nowhere near a perfect movie. It's nowhere near a great movie, but me personally, I did enjoy this movie. Even when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, that was scary at the start back in 2011. Yeah, when I was a lot younger. A lot of things fucking scared me.
I saw the movie Mirrors, starring Kiefer Sutherland in cinemas.
No, really.
Dreadful movie, but it scared the fucking hell out of me. Just because in the movies it was so loud. Same with the movie Shutter, which is an American remake of a Japanese movie.
Yeah, one I haven't seen.
Utterly appalling movie, but I could barely watch it in the theaters with all my Year 7 friends. It's like,
yeah, well, I mean, there was a few movies like that. It was like, you remember Deliver Us from Evil?
Yeah.
The Eric Bana. That was...
Is that the elevator one?
No, that's Devil.
Yeah, okay.
Which was the...
Devil in a Lift.
What's his name? M. Night Shyamalan. Was able to create a twist in an elevator shaft.
I'm sure he did.
I haven't seen it, and I don't think I want to.
I think it was hell. I think that's what the twist was. The elevator was there in hell or something. Of course I didn't watch it. Of course I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah. No way.
But yeah, no, there's just that era. Like, had I seen this, I would hold it in a much higher regard. But again, just geographically, chronologically,
it's different when you're watching it now. It's an older movie, so, and again, it's a low budget movie. It's only 1.5 million. It's not something that they threw heaps of cash at and went fucking take it.
And it's not even me being like a snob. Like, I liked Saw 3D in a weird, fucking horrible way
so much.
Just because it's better than the two before it somehow, even though it's still Yeah, I like a bad movie. Yeah, I like a shit movie every now and then. But
which is fucking weird. And I have so many shit movies I can get you to watch. I really want you to watch.
The thing is getting me to watch them.
That's the thing. I've been doing pretty well. Got you to watch 8 Saw movies in 2 days. So how I pulled that off without paying you, I don't know.
Me waiting for coronavirus results also helped that.
Yeah,
couldn't do anything else. So, but we got a couple of new things coming out. Not big things. Well,
hopefully we get them coming out. I mean, Netflix we know what's sorted for, but...
Netflix, and there's one that came out on Thursday, which we know is out, because I saw it on the Greater Union, the ad for Greater Union.
Ah, yeah.
That one you showed me the trailer for.
Ah, yes.
Speaking of trailers, we should have done this at the top.
Yeah.
They remade Freaky Friday, but as a horror movie with Vince Vaughn.
No, hold on, before we get into it, we can just flat out just end this as the Insidious review. That is... all we really have to say about it. Again, it's not a movie to really talk too much about it in great detail, but there is a decent amount to talk about of it, just for the fact that it is our boy Leigh.
Goes back to the early days of the podcast, two of you loving something and me hating it. So.
Yeah, basically. we've gone back early here, but yeah, Insidious, you've probably already seen it by now. There's no chance that this is going to help you go and watch this movie.
It is a good day movie. It's on Stan in Australia, so like...
Yeah, it's a good one if you have a girl over for the first time and you just want to put on that movie to try and like set the mood, I guess.
Get it a cuddle-lapsia. That was always the trick, wasn't it?
It was always a trick. Lights out, scary-ish movie,
like,
and then cuddle into it.
She's going to need something to hide. And like, because you live with your parents, you can't go and sit in the lounge room, so you're like, oh, it has to be in my bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like, this is taking a turn. It's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah, exactly right.
If you've ever been in high school, you can relate.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is. So yeah, Insidious, done. Yes, let's get on to this trailer now.
Yeah, so Freaky is a movie that's coming out, and it's Jason Blum just taking the piss now. So...
Oh, I couldn't believe this when I saw it.
So from the team behind the two Happy Death Day movies.
I fucking hated.
Apparently are great, but you hate?
I saw the first one and I fucking wanted to neck myself the whole time.
I've heard they're like surprisingly very good.
I know, I don't know how.
Ever
the second one was supposed to be like better than the first, and I'm just like, it's the same fucking movie.
Yeah, the trailer was pretty much the same too.
Because
I think that was the joke, yeah.
It's legit repeating the scene. It's basically Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, but as a horror movie, but fucking worse.
Yeah, with a bit of... Yeah.
Not good. I'm sorry, I fucking hate
I'm not going to watch it. I'll take your word for it.
So yeah, Freaky.
So Freaky...
From that studio.
Yeah, Blumhouse.
Vince Vaughn.
I didn't watch to the end of the trailer, so... Is it getting a cinematic release? Or is it...
It is getting a cinematic release. No, it is a cinematic movie.
It's going to make so much money, because like, with Halloween Kills being delayed...
Oh, man.
What was the other one? Candyman being delayed.
Candyman.
We don't have a stupid horror movie coming out.
Yep.
So if they drop that in October, it will make a ridiculous amount of money. So, a few things wrong with this trailer that really date it. One, Vince Vaughn. What is he doing in a movie? Like, who wants to see Vince Vaughn anymore?
Jesus Christ.
The premise is Freaky Friday, but he swaps. He's the serial killer of this town.
13th of November is the date.
Okay, so a little bit later than Halloween, but...
Close enough.
Close enough. He is the serial killer of the town.
He's a... Yeah, I guess you could say the town serial killer,
He swaps with a 13-year-old girl who's clearly 21.
Yep.
As is the case with all these high school movies.
Yep.
A lot of homophobia in the trailer. That really stood out to me.
Yeah, because he just straight up going, I'm gay, you're black, we're going to die.
You sort of like a disgusting line.
Like, ooh, is that...
Maybe in 2006, when we didn't know better, we would have been like, yeah, you know, that trope.
Yeah.
We'll point it out very obviously, but we've... Even, like, other horror movies are just like, yeah, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's like, it's really not a thing anymore. It used to be the joke, and... With full thing, I'm not saying this now, but the thing back in the day was the black guy died first.
If you see a black guy in a movie, he's there to die.
That was the joke.
If you see any interviews with, I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. The black guy from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. He's very honest about like, yeah, when I got cast, I knew I was going to die straight away. But then he survives. He's like the hero. So he was like the first black guy that survives a horror movie.
Yeah.
But even him still doing interviews like last year, he was still like, yeah, look, black guy, they die in movies.
Yeah.
Until a certain point when they stop fucking doing that. Like, Get Out, the hero is black. Like, the villain is the white guy. We don't do that anymore.
No.
And we especially don't do gay panic jokes. We
exactly
do not do that anymore. Like, it's not even PC gone mad. It's just... weird.
It is very weird.
Who wrote that?
And it's sort of trying to that's basically trying to show you who they're trying to target for this movie.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be dumbass fucking kids that are going to think this actually is a horror movie.
Just like they go into their Call of Duty lobbies and they can say what they want.
Yeah.
And hope their mum doesn't hear them in the other room.
Yeah.
It's like kids who do that wrote this movie. It's just so weird.
It fucking seems that way.
I was dumbfounded by this trailer. It's such a time capsule.
I just could... I honestly... it baffles me. Like, I've seen the trailer 3 times now. Just because I just could not believe my eyes in what the fuck I was witnessing as a movie. For one, how Vince Vaughn said yes to this movie. saying, I'm going to act like a teenage girl.
He must be paying for rehab or something.
Who used to be a serial killer.
Yeah.
And it's...
And him, and the brief flashes of acting as a teenage girl you see, he is awful. He is an awful actor. And I know he did True Detective, and everyone's like, "Oh no, he's actually got some class and he can act now." It's like, no.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he did that for one thing.
He's the fucking main guy from fucking Dodgeball. For God's
exactly
sake.
right.
No.
Like, he just needs to stay in those stupid comedies.
Stoner comedy. Well, I guess that's what this is. I guess.
I know, but that's the thing. They then try to drive the horror aspect in the brief showings of the killings that he is going to do now.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work because you look at this movie and you go, what do I call this as a movie? Like, how do I describe this?
What genre is it?
Is it comedy? Is it teenage? Is it horror? The fuck is it? Because for one, you can't take it seriously because it's Vince Vaughn acting like a child.
Yeah.
And it's a child acting like a serial killer who's just a nicely dressed up girl.
Yeah, so it's not really a threat.
Yeah.
Because she's a 21-year-old playing a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
but obviously, her strengths, or his strengths, carry over to her body, so she can,
throw people around
and wield massive weapons and whatnot.
Which makes sense.
Whatnot else
for casting Vince Vaughn because he's like 6'4" and quite early. But yeah, that's incredibly stupid. And it looks so cheap as well.
It does, like the whole fucking scene of like, because the trailer is just basically her saying, "I'm Millie, boring old Millie."
It's two sets. It's the house and their school.
Yeah. And it goes to the school and it comes down to Vince Vaughn as a serial killer walking up to kill this girl, and as she's on the ground and he's raised up this knife, and it like the landscape changes to show that this is obviously an ancient fucking ritual site from the Aztecs or something, and this knife is now like a fucking Aztecian blade that has powerful powers.
This is real. You can go and look this up. He's not making this up.
This is what it is. Changes to that landscape, so you go, oh, so there's something powerful going on in this, and then stabs her really poorly. It looks like it looks like he's got a needle and is just injecting her with like fucking Hep B or something. Yeah. And it's this weird looking blade, and then it all changes, and then they wake up as switched bodies. So it starts as like what could be a horror movie, and then it changes to the swap, and you go, oh,
it's a dumb comedy.
We've just got a remake of Freaky Friday, a horror edition.
You also know how it's going to end too. They'll go back to the place, they'll trap her.
Yep.
Somehow, and they'll swap back.
Because in Vince Vaughn's body, they'll all be as their group of friends, and then they'll trap her.
He won't get arrested because they'll learn a lot about each other.
Yep.
Why he does this.
She's gone and killed multiple people, so the killings have still happened.
Someone probably killed his wife, and he's sad about his dead wife, so he kills to lash out. Give him a break.
Yep, and then they switch over.
It'll be something dumb like that.
They switch over, and then it's like, now what happens? Now
the trailer also goes like 3 minutes 40. It's a very long trailer.
Like, it shows a lot for something that is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And considering how long we've just talked about this trailer for as well is bad enough.
My theory is like Jason Blum, he's a very, very intelligent man, and he's done a lot of great stuff for our industry, for us.
Yes.
Especially us, because like
100%.
What he does for Leigh especially alone, like
exactly.
But I think he ordered 50 scripts, say, when the pandemic started. I reckon he just put this call out and just went, just write fucking anything.
Oh yeah, he definitely picked him out of the barrel, just went, I'm going to take these, and then...
So he's got a box of FedEx parcels, and he just goes, shit, like that, looks at the front page and goes, make it.
Yeah.
Here's $1.3 million. Make it. And
release it.
That's how these movies are happening. That's what this Becky movie looks like, which, no spoilers, might be on our podcast at one point.
Might be an episode coming up, maybe.
But yeah, that's what Becky looks like, because that's essentially Home Alone.
It's Home Alone.
Rambo, sort of. I don't know.
I guess it's Home Alone with just actual killing.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that on an episode. Maybe. I was going to keep it a secret, but it's not the next one, it's the one afterwards.
Yeah, there's something else next week.
There is a little in between. Pepper.
Sprinkle that on there.
And the reason we're doing the in-between one is because we won't have to leave our house, and it's just going to be...
Makes it very easy. I don't have to spend any money on that one.
Thank God.
But yeah, so
So yeah, I think Jason Blum is gonna just keep releasing shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think
there'll be some gold nuggets.
He's got a catalogue of just endless shit that he can just pump out for just
like it works. Unknown. Like I've praised him before on our Invisible Man episode. I was like, he should be doing this.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get some good movies out of it. You're gonna get cool young directors. You're gonna get cool young writers. You're gonna get sad old drunk actors in Vince Vaughn stumbling around.
Yep.
But so
speaking of the Invisible Man, quickly, did you hear that the official confirmation of the sequel is going to be happening?
Oh no,
with Leigh.
Sweet.
It is now confirmed that Leigh will be returning to direct a sequel.
Thank God.
So as well as getting the spin-off of the Invisible Woman, we'll also be getting the Invisible Man sequel.
The Invisible Woman that's already got a director there, hasn't it?
That has Elizabeth Banks as director, writer, and actress.
That is a salivating prospect.
Because they said they gave her a pick of whatever she wanted to do.
Yeah, as you would with Elizabeth Banks. She's one of the best talents in Hollywood.
She's very good.
Go back to our Power Rangers episode.
She's the only saving grace about that movie.
Gosh, she's good.
Yes, but now the Invisible Man is getting a sequel.
Because they ended that pretty cleverly. They were like, it's not like
they said that they wanted that to be a standalone film. This is it. No opening for a future.
But the end is like she has the suit in her bag. Whatever.
Yeah.
Could be a sequel maybe. But yeah, he's got to do the Wolfman before that. So
yes, which the minute we see something about that,
Ryan Gosling.
Oh my God,
baby. Can't wait for that.
It's gonna be good.
That's the episode, I think.
That's about it. I don't think anyone sent us questions.
They did. Up a bit too late.
A little bit. Let me just take a quick.
Thanks a lot, everyone. How dare you not do our job for us?
I know some weeks that everyone's on, and then sometimes they just they hit us.
We have one comment.
Gemma's come through 17 minutes ago, so fuck. Really saved us here. So let's jump into some questions. Your sister,
literally question time.
Alright, so she's asking, if y'all could watch movies from only one decade, which decade would it be and why?
Yeah, fuck, that's such a good question. That hurts so much. I can't answer that.
Wow.
God. Well, I would have originally said the 90s, but with my recent going back to some 90s movies, I'm just like, these are fucking awful.
Yeah, really
like Anaconda. I want to just watch Anaconda for the rest of my life. I don't want to watch Spawn again. I don't want to watch Blade 1. The mid-2000s was when I got into movies in about 2002 was when I started really obsessing over them.
Yeah.
So the 2000 to 2010, maybe. Because then I would get Inception at the very end of that.
Right so on the back end.
Yeah, I get something.
Yeah.
I'd get Iron Man 1. I get The Dark Knight. But then the teens, you get everything I love. My top 10 movies was mostly from 2010 to 2020.
Jesus Christ.
Because then you get like Fury Road, you get fucking all of the Marvel shit. You get Upgrade.
Yeah, you get the ending of the Marvel.
Pilgrim. You get the whole Cornetto trilogy. No, you don't. You only get The World's End.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You dickhead.
Fuck, those movies are old.
They fucking really are.
I'm gonna... Excuse me.
You don't want to say something. I don't want to say anything.
I think with as much as I've enjoyed movies the past 10 years, I have to say... It's such a cop-out answer because... Of course, I'm going to pick the 2010s, but 2010 to 2020. Because if I go February 2010 to February 2020, still get to see Sonic as well.
Whoa.
Sonic is fucking great. Why have you not watched Sonic yet? Go and watch Sonic. I'm not joking. It's a very fucking good movie.
And for an animated movie to come from Jack like that, you
video game tie-in, a kids movie,
yeah,
it should not be good, but it's great.
It really is.
So I think I'm going to firmly plant my foot 2010 to 2020, but it hurts me a lot to say it because I don't get The Dark Knight.
I know.
I don't get Inception.
I think I'm going to have to say the naughties.
I don't get Fantastic Four. I don't get Fantastic Four 2, The Rise of the Silver
Surfer. Oh no, not the Fantastic Four.
That was a joke for Emma. I don't get Spider-Man 2.
No, I think I'm going to have to go with the noughties. I think there was too many good stoner comedies throughout that decade that was just too good for me.
Many people will roll their eyes.
Silent Bob Strike Back, so it's one of my favourite movies of all time.
So many people will roll their eyes, but just the MCU, like, that's the answer, isn't it? Like, I want to live in the Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Oh, fuck, no one answer now.
I want those. I could not live without those movies.
Because they packed a lot into those 10 years.
Yeah, fuck no.
Everything was in there.
It's the Winter Soldier alone kind of firmly planted me in this.
Yeah, that's enough. Fuck!
That's a great question.
It really
Holy
is.
shit.
I hate it
17
so
minutes
much.
to spare. Well done, Gemma.
Fucking
Thank you.
Came through trumps at the end there. Alright.
Man.
I'm going to agree with the 10s.
Yeah. It's a cop-out answer, but fuck, it's been so good. It has been a
it
follows, we get fucking everything, man. We get everything.
Get Upgrade.
Get Upgrade.
Get the Invisible Man.
Get the Invisible Man. We get the Leigh Whannell Renaissance.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Oh.
Which Saw movies were in the 10s? Jigsaw.
Jigsaw. 3D.
When was 3D? 2011? Is that the same year as Insidious? Holy fuck.
No, Jigsaw, 3D was...
God.
I don't even want to know.
Don't know.
I don't need to know.
I'm not going to look at that.
I'm going with the 10s as well.
Yeah.
So, before I wrap my brain anymore, I think we can safely just end this episode here. And thank you, Gemma, for coming and trumps at the end there.
All night. I'm just going to be like, nah, but this one.
Oh, you're going to go back to your movies and be like, what fucking came out through this year? I missed that one. Fuck.
Don't get my favourite movie of all time was made in early 1980s. I'm definitely not going back to then. So.
Yeah, no, we don't need to live in that time.
Sorry, it would have too.
Yep. All right.
That's the episode.
That is the episode. Guys, thank you very much for sticking around and listening to the You Like That podcast. As always, we appreciate you. Anyone sharing. If you like, subscribe, send some screenies of the pod when it goes up. Do whatever you can to show some support. We appreciate it very much. It does help out for the future. We do look forward to the future and what is to come. Things getting delayed more so than they have been. Because we've got a good run of getting some movies out there. And now they might be going away again.
They cannot delay James Bond again. Like, Daniel Craig wants to get rid of it. No,
he's just like, I don't want to do it.
I'm not doing press again. He's just like, just fuck it. I've already done this. Just fucking release it.
Basically. So, yeah.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. So, as it always is, my name is Adam. I am one half of the You Like That podcast, and I'll remain to be one half and Adam of the You Like That podcast.
One half and Adam. My name is Jack. When I was born... February 1st, 1993. I entered this world. My parents were like, that will be Jack. That is Jack. And for the future, before he was born, he was John because I'm named after someone called John, but my name's actually Jack. It's a weird Australian nickname thing. But he will be until, even after he's gone, he will still be Jack because that is his name. That is my name. I am... the other half of the You Like That podcast.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you again next week.
See you next week!